With the Tuskegee Airmen, my involvement, actually the organization Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated, I've been a member for about, I would say about 15 years now. So I've gone to the convention, but because of my ops tempo, if you will, in the military, it was hard to get to some of the conventions. But I've always, like in the background, pay my dues. Sometimes the youth program I was involved. Not until I moved to St. Louis, where then I finally said, okay, I'm gonna be here for a while. I joined a chapter and became active in the chapter. At the time that I became, our chapter is called Who's Jay White. And Mr. White had already passed, but his wife, Clara White, was the acting president at the time. And so I got involved in some of the youth programs and that kind of thing. And so that's been really my involvement. And then when I retired from the service and became a civilian contractor for a while, and then I retired, I then was all in. And my goal here locally is to have, is to plant that seed with some kids. So our chapter here are involved in flying kids and other STEM projects, spreading the word, keeping the legacy alive, drone classes, all kinds of activities and let the kids know about the Tuskegee Airmen and this exhibit. And that is our primary goal, and that's what I currently do now. I think one of the most important thing about the Tuskegee Airmen and exhibits like this is to, for the younger generation to understand that these gentlemen endured a lot, and they faced a lot of oppositions as far as flying, the ability to fly, and just education, and they overcame that. And what I want young people to understand is that they, like other trailblazers in all different other fields, African Americans, have made the path easier for you today. Not necessarily removed all the obstacles, because we still face them, but made it easier for you. And I want you to appreciate that what they endured has made your life. So take advantage of that. Get an education, go to school, seek out careers, and help others. The most important thing that I think overall is that you can do it. You can do it. And people before you have done it, paved the road for you. A lot of issues today in today's society, but you can make it because they made it, and they made it easier for us. Like I said before, I think you have to understand that the road has been paved for you. It still has some obstacles, but I think the biggest challenge that we face today is that there are still people who will still think that you can't capable of doing it, and you can. Never doubt yourself. You know, I've heard recent stories where some people say they'll get into the airplane, they'll look and see African American pilots and think, oh, affirmative action, DEI, and that they're below standard. They've reduced the standard for them to become pilots. No, that's not true. Those pilots go through everything that everyone does because you are responsible for lives. I mean, some of the new airplanes carry 400 people. So they're not gonna say, well, we're gonna take these people who are less qualified. No. So I think sometimes people have that mindset that affirmative action, DEI type stuff has lowered the standard, and it's not true. And you never accept that. Because you are, if you pass that and you're in that cockpit, you're just as qualified as anyone else in that cockpit. So I think some of the that's one of the challenges, mainly in the airlines, but I think you still have issues in not just aviation, but non-aviation places, professional jobs and stuff like that. But the goal is to keep going, get that education, and prove them wrong. And you will, and you can.
To learn more about this and other fascinating stories, Visit Tuskegee Airmen, America's Freedom Flyers at Soldiers Memorial Military Museum through November 2nd, 2025. For more information, visit mohistory.org/memorial.